Andrea. Very nice to have you here today. To get started, can you just introduce yourself, where you're from, and most importantly, what do you do?
Hi, Thomas. Hi, Jacqui. Nice to be here with you. So my name is Andrea Sauser. I'm from Brazil originally, but I've been based in Switzerland for the past 17 years. And what brought me here was the studies of sport management. I've been involved with cycling events and outdoor events for more than 20 years now. That's where I come from and where I am now.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about your last role was the head of operations for the UCI Mountain Bike World Championships. Can you tell us a little bit about that role and what it meant to you for success even I think that was a 2 or 3 year position that you had?
Yeah, exactly. That was a 3-year position that I finished end of 2005. It was so my role was basically to deliver all the operational aspects of the event. What it means is that, you know, in a mountain bike event, you will start with the race courses. So we needed to develop the race courses in 8 different locations for the different mountain bike disciplines, in accordance with the environment, the natural features, and the technical features that we needed. And then everything that goes around it. So that's really the core of the event, are the race courses, and then you build your event around it. So there is the safety of the course, the marshals, the volunteers, all the officials that are going to work with the race. But then you have also the spectator experiences that you're going to bring, if it's ticketing, food and beverage, access, mobility, et cetera, et cetera. So my role was really to coordinate all those aspects for the 8 different venues and make sure that it was orchestrated and that it worked in coordination with the local organizing committees.
So when you think about the risk management, I believe that's a very challenging topic. Can you talk a little bit about how you balance that, that high risk activity and making sure the athletes are safe and still maintaining a safe operation?
Yes, obviously it's key. What we always say in sport events is that, the safety of the athletes is the central point of everything that we do. So why it's important to know that the safety of not only the athletes, but the safety of everyone, right? But your event starts with the race. So it's important to know that, because all the decisions that you need to take when it comes to crisis will be based on that central point. And mountain biking is obviously a mountain discipline, mountain sport. And to be able to assess the risk at each event, you need to consider the different characteristics of each competition. So it's very different to organize a pump track race, which is mostly, you can do it in the center of a town, which we did in Monte, than it is to organize an enduro race or a downhill race where you're going to go very far into high mountain and you are going to need to cover several kilometers where lots of different situations can happen to riders, to marshals, and to spectators. So knowing the specificities and having contingency plans and especially coordinating those plans with the whole team is obviously crucial.
So with the European Centre of Adventure Training, we are training people to go out and to work in the industry or to form their own businesses. And it could very likely be an interest of somebody who graduates from one of our programs that would like to work in sports management. And you've developed such an amazing career doing this. Can you talk a little bit about what that pathway could look like, or what are some entry-level positions that they can start with, and how they can help build themselves to get there, or maybe the various type of roles that are available for those that might not know but might be interested?
I think that's a great question, because it's hard when you are stepping into that world. It's difficult to project yourself and see what the trajectory might look like. And it starts at the same place for everyone. I mean, I did a lot of volunteering myself. From volunteering, I found internships. From internships, I got fixed positions. And then from there, depending on your interest and your abilities, you grow in the directions that you choose. And all the people that worked with me in this path, no exception, we're driven to the sport world and to the adventure world because of passion. None of us is coming here for very rational reasons, right? So I think, choosing, in the case of sport management and event management, choosing events that you're passionate about and meeting the right people in that environment is really the best possible entry door. And we have worked recently on this last project. We have worked with a lot of junior managers who were coming, for example, from experiences at the Paris Olympic Games. So they were already in the region and they could join for a temporary job or a junior management position, for example, or people who volunteered at the free ride world tour events. So a lot of skiing events are happening in Switzerland. People go to volunteer and then they're ready to apply for a junior management position. So it's really one thing leads to the other. And the most important is that you get into that environment and you meet people, because then you can explore the different possibilities.
Yeah, sounds very interesting. So I'm just changing the topic slightly. So I'm interested, I believe like you're at times under a certain amount of pressure, you're figuring out certain risk management concepts. There's a bunch of different stakeholders that you have to serve. So what's your personal strategy just to deal with that, exceeded pressure sometimes?
When you find yourself in a stress situation or in a crisis situation, what I find is the number one thing to consider is getting the facts straight, because when you're in the middle of a crisis, there's a lot of emotion mixed with facts, and you can't take decisions that are impacting the safety of people based on emotions. So getting the facts straight is the very first thing. And the second thing is asking yourself who else needs to be informed, because you need to coordinate fast. There's usually more people involved in the sport event environment. There's a lot of people involved and things that need to be coordinated. So asking yourself who else needs to know about this is very important, because from then you start informing and you start acting fast and well informed.
That's it's really interesting when you talk about that, because it reminds me of the type of training that we deliver our students that might be another scenario. It might be, how do you deal with an emergency in the mountains? And so a lot of that is a similar type of, it's the same system of organizing and who's involved and and staying calm. So there's a lot of overlaps with that, with what you're doing. So what I'm interested in is, can you tell us about your career? So you've had a very diverse career with some very interesting jobs. I know you personally, I've known you personally for many, many years, and you've had some very impressive roles you managed the velodrome in the Olympics in Rio. You also have been a Red Bull commentator and so many more. Can you tell us about which of those jobs where you felt it kind of really launched you into the career path that helped you feel established? You talked earlier about about it was a progression of volunteering and putting in a bunch of time. But what was the moment where you felt like it was really like that turning point from this desire and push to your passion really being turned into a profession for you, and you felt like you'd kind of got there?
It's difficult to pinpoint one moment, but I must say what accelerated my career was coming to Switzerland to study and to understand the international sport environment, because I had already been working in Brazil as a sports journalist, organizing my own cycling events. But my view of the ecosystem of sports was very limited, and that's why I think there's so much value in what the European Centre of Adventure Training is proposing to students, because it really gives, those sorts of programs really give you an overview of what I'd like to call it the ecosystem of sport, what it looks like, because you need to get out of your own world and culture and how that specific culture deals with sport and with events, and see how everything connects in a bigger scale. So my turning point was being in Switzerland and understanding how international federations are operating, how media rights are bringing revenue to events, how athletes are involved with their federations to be part of international events. So that's very specific to my career. But I think in adventure training in general, it is important to understand how the international organizations deal with it. What are the laws? What are the different ways of training people at a very high level? So I would say education, to summarize, I would say education changed everything for me.
Yes, very, very interesting. But slowly coming to an end here. So I'm just starting a couple statements, and then I'll finish, and then you can just continue with your own personal opinion.
Okay.
So the first thing I do when everything goes sideways is?
Get the facts straight and ask myself, who else needs to know about this?
Nice. The question I ask before every mountain event is?
What are the particularities of the event that we're organizing, the sport that we're organizing, and who are the right people to be part of the team?
Wow, nice. Thank you, Andrea. I really appreciate, we really appreciate you talking with us. And what I really like to emphasize is when you talked about it, you've developed your career based on your passion. And with ECAT, what we are essentially doing is training people and supporting them to help either find careers in their passion or help them develop even what their passions could be. And so what you've done is what we hopefully would like our students to do in the future, is to build a career based on passion, on adventure sport, outdoor education, or in some cases just a gap year for people to have these skills that can be a profitable summer job. But really it is based on passion. So it was really nice to hear your story. We appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. And I hope there will be many students from around the world enjoying all the wealth and passion that you're bringing to this project.
Yeah, and we would look forward to including you in the program, having you as a guest speaker with our students, or being involved with us in some way. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrea.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
If you think you'd like to work in the outdoor industry, but you're not really sure what you would do, head to our website and we have a free assessment that you can fill out, and we will help you determine that.
To learn more about our training programs, visit our website or sign up to our newsletter.